Yo, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy So, and welcome back to the channel. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and drop a comment on our latest video, which is this one right here, as we preview the Dolphins versus the Bills in Buffalo. And joining me right now is the best guy that I know I can talk to when it comes to Buffalo, Miami Dolphins football. It's Victor Bermudez, friend of the program. How are you, brother?
I'm doing well, my man. It's Buffalo and Miami Dolphins week, so this is the revenge week. This is the one that we've been waiting for since week 3. If you're a Buffalo Bills fan, if you're Bills Mafia, this has been circled in on the calendar because it's a whole lot different playing up in Buffalo in Western New York.
And let's talk about that, man. The weather is the biggest factor, right? Like you mentioned, we had that week 3 matchup down here in Miami where the weather was definitely in our favor, right? You guys were wearing the dark blue uniforms, sitting on the sun, and it obviously had an impact, right? We saw a lot of guys go down with fatigue. You know, even guys who are prime superstar athlete like Diggs, you know, even he had an issue dealing with the heat. Now we're gonna flip the script completely come Saturday, where the weather's gonna be really cold. Talk to me how that benefits the Bills way more than it did than the heat benefits the Dolphins down here.
I mean, the same exact way. The same that a September game at Hard Rock Stadium would benefit the Miami Dolphins. We've seen it time and time again. I wish it would favor the Miami Hurricanes a little more as it favors the Miami Dolphins. Too. But Josh Allen said it this week. We practice in this weather. We live in this weather. We're comfortable in this weather. They go outdoors in this weather. They obviously have an indoor practice facility just like the Miami Dolphins do. But no, the Dolphins during these types of weeks, they pride themselves on being able to practice outdoors. And they're used to it. This is the reason why Josh Allen went to Buffalo. This is the reason why Jim Kelly has said for years, stop drafting guys from California to come play up here in the Northeast. There's a reason why Jim Kelly had success there, because he was from Pennsylvania, played his college ball, obviously at Miami, as we all know, but had success in Buffalo weather because he was from Pennsylvania. Here comes Josh Allen from Wyoming, big arm, able to play in this weather. He's accustomed to it. This is what, if you're the Buffalo Bills, this is why there's a lot of talks up in Buffalo about a new stadium, and they will get a new stadium. And there's that side of the fan base that wants an indoor facility, because let's be honest, for the type of team the Buffalo Bills are, indoors works well for them. They're an air raid attack. They love to go for it on third and long. They can throw the ball all over the field. But the best thing Buffalo has going for them is that weather, is having to come play in that cold in the outdoors. And we've seen how well they can play under those types of conditions. So Saturday night should be, Saturday night, if anything goes wrong, this is a must win for Buffalo. The pressure
is for you. It's not for you. It's a must win for us, dog. Like, if we don't win this game, our season is over pretty much.
I don't think it's over. I think you still hold the destiny of the playoffs through the Bills, through the Patriots, through the Jets. You do find yourselves at the moment, maybe possibly by Sunday, outside of the playoffs, depending on what happens with the Jets and Patriots.
Right.
They don't play each other, but what happens, I know the Jets have the Lions. But this game, you have to be, I don't see it any other way. All the pressure is on Buffalo. You're the Super Bowl favorites. You're at home. The climate favors you. The weather conditions are exactly what you spoke about. If you lose this game, you can never, ever again say, I want them in December in Buffalo. I want a home game in January in Buffalo in the playoffs, because this is exactly what you wish for. 7 inches of snow at night, wind conditions and 15 to 25 plus. This is what you root for as a Buffalo Bills fan. And if you don't come away with the victory on Saturday, then what do you have to hang your hat on? What home field advantage do you have?
For sure. And I feel like the motivation is definitely high on both sides of the team or the field, right? And I mentioned the reason why this is a must-win game for the Dolphins is because you lose this game and theoretically you're leaving your playoff hopes in the hands of other teams, right? And we've seen that come bite the Dolphins in the ass when it really matters, right? Especially last game of the season type thing. And we're playing, a rival our last game of the season. So it really kind of it's going to show me what Mike McDaniel is about and whether or not he's the real deal here as a coach, right? Because when you come in here, you guys are obviously the target. You guys are won the division, made playoffs, got to the Super Bowl, AFC Championship. Like, you've been all of that. So when we look at AFC East, we're like, okay, we got to get to that level and surpass that. The only way to do that is by actually going out there and winning games like this, right? Where all the odds are stacked against you. It's impossible. The weather, Tua's been playing bad, offense being completely dismantled by defenses. I don't know. I feel like this is a bigger must-win game for the Dolphins than it is the Bills, because you guys already, not to say that you have the division wrapped up, but like, it's right there.
They do if they win this game.
Right? Like it's a wrap.
I mean, it's not
more
secured, but basically you have a 2-game lead in the division with only 3
absolutely. But more importantly, Vic, like you and I personally talked about, like that 13 benchmark win, right? To get yourself that home playoff advantage against the Chiefs. It's not even about the first round or the second round. It's that last game before the Super Bowl where you guys want to be playing that game at home. You know what I mean? And I think getting this win for you guys and getting you guys to 11, closer to 13 wins on the season, that's going to be huge.
This is an important game for Buffalo for all the reasons you said. This game, this win gives you a 2-game lead in the division, so you start to feel a little comfortable. It almost guarantees you not 1 but 2 home games. You start to feel even a little more comfortable. Last year was a wild card game against the Patriots. You dominated New England and then had to go on the road to Kansas City. And, coin flip.
Seconds.
Coin
there. It was right there.
The game was lost with those 13 seconds. If we win the coin flip at the overtime, maybe we're talking about something different. Who knows? But this game right here, to me, I disagree with how we started saying that must win for the Dolphins. No, the must win for the Dolphins was last week in Los Angeles, indoors against Justin Herbert, playing the guy that was selected 1 pick behind Tua Tagovailoa. The must win is on Christmas against Green Bay at home. The must win is against New England Patriots at home. The must win is against the Jets at home. Those are games you need to win. When you looked at the calendar, see, no one said in December, circle that one. That's a must-win for us. No, you chalked up as a loss. If anything, you said it's a must-win at home week 3 early on in the year. I wholeheartedly disagree. I think all the pressure's on Buffalo in this game because of the weather conditions, because of what's on the line. No one expects the 7.5-point favorites for the Buffalo Bills. I don't know, and
it's a big spread.
You could speak for the Dolphin fan base better than I can. I don't know who's expecting to go up there in Buffalo and be able to compete with this team. Not under these conditions, not under the injuries that you suffered a week ago. How's Tyreek Hill? That's a high ankle injury in the snow. He's not going to be as fast as he normally is, and regardless of how fast he may be in the snow, it's probably faster than 75% of the league. But with that said, he slowed down. Trey White is back. Jordan Poyer's in the lineup. An undefeated lineup with Jordan Poyer in it. We're talking about a Bills team that has not lost with that man on the field. Huge difference. Now you have someone to shadow Trey White, or Trey White shadowing Tyreek Hill. So there's a lot of different elements to this game that you didn't have in week 3. So all the excuses for the Buffalo Bills are out the window in this game. Weather's out the window because now the weather favors you. The injuries that I'd love to hang on for week 3 on why that loss occurred, because it was a depleted Bills defense. You were missing starting cornerbacks. You were missing both starting safeties at the time with Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer.
Right.
You get these guys back. So now you're starting to feel healthy and all the pressure's on you. Here's an opportunity to cement that division, to make it a 3-peat, secure the 3rd division title in a row against a Dolphins team that's wounded. It's coming in here and off of the blueprint. Granted, it is the San Francisco 49ers, the number 1 defense in the NFL, but a defense without Derwin James, a defense without I forget the other defensive player. I think it was Chandler. His name's escaping me now. But if the Chargers are able to replicate what the 49ers were able to do, then why isn't the number 2 defense or our top 5 defense able to do so? The number 2 scoring defense in all of NFL. They should be able to do just the same. So as a Bills fan, I feel a lot of pressure, and I do think that the world thinks Buffalo should win.
I hear you. And you know what? When those expectations come about, right, like you usually see it flip the other way. Case in point, Dolphins Sunday night. I know you noticed that everybody picked the Dolphins to win. America picked the Dolphins. All the panels. Yeah, like in our chat, we talked about how the Dolphins had an advantage going into this game, and then boom, everything flips on his head. things don't happen the way it's supposed to, and the game is going the other way. Let's talk about a little bit about the injuries, because that Tyreek Hill injury is going to be huge. But more important than that, I think it's the Tua story, right? We saw him go up against Herbert, not look good. We saw him go up against the Niners, not look good. And now he's facing another elite level type defense, right, in 3 weeks. That's twice in 3 games, off a short week at that. What do you think his mindset coming into this game is? Because for me, I think he has to be aggressive, attack, and not let the moment come to him, but also be aware of what he can get and just take what the defense gives him. What do you think his approach should be?
I agree with you. I don't know Tua Tagovailoa personally. I don't know what's going through his head, but to me it feels, and this is just a personal opinion, I have no inside knowledge of this. This is just my observation. I do think Tua at times tries a bit too much. Cincinnati Bengals game, I've mentioned this in the past. Cincinnati Bengals game, there's Apple, and he's going at it with Tyreek Hill, and they have some beef carrying over from last year. And it's Joe Burrow, the guy that was selected number 1 overall in that draft, and I want to outshine him. I want to be just as good. Then there's going to San Francisco, and you're going up against the number 1 defense, and it's Mike McDaniel against his former coach, and then a bunch of your players going up against their former team, and you have something to prove, and you come out.
You want to do extra.
And I think he puts a little too much on himself. And then there's the Chargers and the Herbert, and we know the comparisons that are going to be there for the entire career, both of their careers, and just looked off in both games. I think at times, and then this is where Mike McDaniel comes in. This is where I hold him accountable. When you know that, and maybe look, they haven't been together for a long time. You're not talking Sean McDermott, Josh Allen. You're talking about 2 guys that have known each other for less than a year. Maybe it's him realizing, okay, now I see how Tua handles these type of environments or these type of elements and this type of expectations around the game. Maybe you need to start doing. You're running a running game mastermind. Where is that running game? How are you helping Tua? How are you settling him in? Because you see Tua, to me, it seems he's trying to do a bit too much. And there was some passes there in the San Francisco game
for sure
that he should have made, and some guys should have made some catches for him. But then you see in other parts where, like, where's that mastermind that you paid for, that everybody has pride in? You get recognized and praised for that running scheme and that running game, and never abandoning the run against whether you're down in the 4th quarter or not. And I just haven't seen that from the Miami Dolphins in the last 2 weeks. It's a snow game. You're going to have to run the ball. Something I did see from Tua against the Chargers, there's a couple of times that he tucked it and ran with it. I love that. I'm a Bills fan. I'm a Josh Allen believer.
And we know that he's one of the better quarterbacks at doing that, right? Being able to get some yardage.
Yes, and to me, it seems like Tua has learned how to slide, something that Josh Allen rather leap. He prefers to leap over you or just give you a nice stiff arm because he could do that. He's a linebacker playing at quarterback.
6'6", 250-something pounds. He can run some people over.
And you're going to be seeing a lot of that on Saturday night.
Hopefully not.
But Tua, I'd like to see the coaching staff help out Tua as well. We're talking about a guy who's made a huge leap in year 3, but you still need to help him out at times when he gets involved in the emotions of the game and kind of loses the idea or the game plan. I thought they threw the ball way too much against the Chargers. I would like to see a little more design running, especially when he has some success with himself running the ball.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel that's definitely one of the biggest takeaways that we can take from Mike McDaniel this year, right? His lack of applying the running game, which was what we got hyped about, right? Because at the time when he came in, we didn't know that we were going to get Tyreek Hill. We were just focused on the running backs that we had, how he can build the O-line, and what type of schemes we can run behind in that zone blocking, background that he has. And we really haven't seen it come to fruition at the detriment of the team, because, when you're throwing the ball, 15 times, versus running the ball 3 times, yeah, it's very easy for defenses to load up on you, take away things at the line of scrimmage and stuff like that, disrupt all the time because they know what's coming. This is, to your point, where Mike McDaniel has to kind of flip the script and say, okay, what do I need to do different in order to keep my offense on that high level? And to back it into Tua, he was playing at such a high level. And when you don't play at that high level, the fall off of that, right, is major. And then like you see it now, and you see the impact where it has, like with people doubting the team, doubting his abilities and whatnot. For this Saturday, man, I feel like the biggest thing is that, right? Are we going to be able to see a change in the offense and the running game get going? Because you guys suffer from that as well, right? Where you guys tend to get a pass happy at times, right? And abandon the running game, and you let the homeboy Josh Allen run around and get first downs here and there. But Singletary and guys like that, they don't really get the opportunities. How do you see that going on Saturday?
They're going to have to get guys involved. And Josh Allen can't be your only running back. Look, James Cook has come as of late. He's getting the ball going, but you traded for Hines. You're yet to see a big breakout game for Hines. True. Devin Singletary, he's nice. There's a reason why you drafted Cook. There's a reason why you shipped off Moss. Look, I'd love to tune into WGR every morning. I listen to Bills radio. There's a lot of folks in that building. There's a lot of folks around Buffalo that think their best running back is on the practice squad, and that's Duke Johnson. There's a reason why he was elevated a couple of weeks ago. I'm not taking anything away from Cook. They've ran the ball extremely well. Damn right. The University of Miami, if you didn't know.
That's right, baby.
They're running the ball extremely well as of late. They're averaging over 150 yards a game. Granted, Josh Allen has a large part to do with that, but you're going to have to get the running game going. You do have Josh Allen that can throw it through whatever type of wind. We've seen that in the past. We saw it last year against the New England Patriots when we did get beat in Buffalo in that win game, and the Patriots only had to attempt 3 passing attempts. But Josh Allen can deliver in those type of weather inclements, but you have to get it going. This is the game. But and credit to Mike. Look, I know we beat up on Mike McDaniel just a bit ago, but maybe he knows what he has in his offensive line. True. Maybe he knows they're hurt. So maybe he was like, there's no way that I can establish the run the last 2 weeks as he's done in maybe previous weeks. And the same it has to be said for the offensive lineup in Buffalo. Deion Dawkins, he's a great player. He struggled the last 2 weeks with not injuries, with penalties. It's tough. It's tough in those weather conditions. And right now, Buffalo has had some success as of late running the ball. Not great success, but this is what you drafted James Cook for, and hopefully he turns it on to end the year here because they're going to need it.
Let's see, man. The better O-line is definitely going to win the matchup, right? And I feel like that's going to give either team the advantage. We saw Teron Armstead come back. They didn't look his best against the Chargers. We get Eichenberg back this week. You guys get a couple of guys back, like you mentioned. Like, I feel like that's going to be where the main battle is. Who can get at least 50 yards from their running backs, right? Out of 10, 15 attempts and go from there.
I mean, our quarterback gets 50 yards on the ground. So if that's the case, then it's gonna be a long night. I think the key additions here for Miami are just that Trey White and Jordan Poyer. 2 guys, you guys destroyed us. It's not going to be that. I don't anticipate it being that type of game. Just because, again, we've mentioned weather, 7 inches of snow possibly throughout the game. So that changes the game plan a bit. But the fact that you have a Trey White to sit there and shadow Tyreek Hill, the fact that you have Jordan Poyer back, and I can't mention it enough, an undefeated team with Jordan Poyer in that lineup, it totally changes the defensive scheme from what you guys saw in week 3. And then again, you had the snow, and it's a totally different game. So it's exciting. We'll see how it matches up, and it should favor the Buffalo Bills.
Absolutely, man. And it should be fun, right? These division rivalry games, man, you never know what the hell's going to happen. You throw the element of snow and crazy wind, and you're going to have a hell of a matchup. Give me a final score prediction, dog. I know it's going to be Bills, but I'm more interested in the score.
Final score, I'll say 31-17 Bills.
That's pretty high scoring.
Yeah, because Buffalo Bill, they can score in the snow. And once they get it going, they'll pile it on.
Let's see. If the Dolphins do win, I feel like it'll be something tight. 2017, 17-14.
Oh, yeah.
Like that, right?
If the Dolphins escape with a win, I think it'll be a tight game.
Yeah.
But the reason why I have it going away is for all the things we've mentioned. And once the Bills get rolling in that snow, that crowd gets into it. I don't know how true it is, but there's rumors out there that the Miami Dolphins had some heaters, some bench warming going on in Los Angeles, 50-degree weather.
Of course.
If that's the case, if you fall behind 10 points in that snow, in that cold, I think those guys are going to fold, and they're going to be thinking about that plane ride back to Miami and feeling warm on that plane and getting back to 75 and sunny here on Sunday
Down here.
in Miami.
I mean, you're a Miami boy too, dog. You know we don't play that. We don't play that shit, man. We don't play that. We don't play that, man. But it's gonna be a great game.
It falls under 60, and we got leather coats on. We got
gloves on and shit. Scarves coming out. The Burberry scarf. You know what time it is, man. You know how we do. Vic, bro, I'm excited, man. I'm gonna be tuning in to your broadcast as always, dog. Checking out how you guys produce the game, and I'm always gonna be watching you on Twitter because you let the tweets fly as well, especially during the game. And I steal my stats from there. Yes, I steal my stats from Vic. Okay, it's okay.
Hey, man, we all do, bro. We all do. We all do.
But I steal from the best in the biz, and Vic, you're the best in the biz, bro. I appreciate this, man.
Appreciate it, my man.
Absolutely. Let's do this again. For everybody else, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're bringing you this Dolphins content, bringing you Bills content from the very best Vic Bermudez. Check him out on Instagram. And until next time, peace.